Good morning, friends. Today we are going to see about the oceanography. It's me, Maru Vijay Nakshapan. Today we are going to discuss about the ocean basins and hypsographic curve, four relief zones, continental shelves, and origin of continental shelves. When you are seeing about the ocean basins, there are three main features which we are going to study about. There is first one is the surface area. We know that the ocean basins are the portion of area which are not included in land, that is lithosphere. So lithosphere constitutes about 71%, and the hydrosphere, it constitutes about 29%. The hydrosphere 29, the constitutes 29% of the global surface area is nothing but the ocean basins. The lithosphere, the average height is about 840 meter. The depth is about the hydrosphere. The average depth is about 3,800 meter. Then next is the relief features. What are the reliefs that are present in the ocean basins? First one is about mid-oceanic ridges that we have studied in physical geography. Then next is about trenches, then deep sea plains, basins, submarine canyons, etc. So many relief features are present in the ocean basins. Next, the four relief zones which we are going to see in oceanography are continental shelves, continental slopes, and deep sea plains and oceanic trenches. First, we are going to see about the continental shelves. Before seeing about the continental shelves, first we are going to see what actually it represents. Continental shelves are nothing but the area which I am showing in the mouse pointer. It's the continental shelves. Next, from continental shelves to mid ocean deep sea plains, it is nothing but the continental slopes. It is very vertically steep. Then comes the deep sea plains, which are almost of a plain surface, and next is about deep oceanic trenches that we will come to see about in next class. First, we will see about the hypsographic curve or hypsometric curve. About the curve which represents the different height and depth zones of the lithosphere and the hydrosphere. This curve represents only the different height and depth zones of the lithosphere and the hydrosphere that we can see in this diagram. In this diagram they have given the lithosphere and also the hydrosphere. The lithosphere it is represented in elevation, that is kilometer, and the hydrosphere it is represented in depth. The average mean depth of the oceans is about 3,682 meter or 3,800 meter. It ranges. It varies. Then Mariana Trench. It is about. It is located at east of Philippines. It is about 11,022 meter. It is about 11 kilometer. Mount Everest is about 8,848 meter, but the Mariana Trench is more than 3,000 meter, more than Mount Everest. Then the mean altitude of the land is about 840 meter. It is it is essential for keeping in examination point of view. First, we will see about the continental shelves. What it is? Continental shelves are the continental marginal areas which are submerged under the oceanic water with average depth of 100 fathoms with a slope between 1 to 3 degree towards the sea or oceans. These are the areas in along the continental marginal areas which are submerged under the oceanic water. Which are submerged under the oceanic water means it is along the boundary or the seashores, and average depth of 100 fathoms. Fathoms is nothing but the measuring unit of depth inside the oceans, and slope is 1 to 3 degree, which is and towards the ocean, seas or oceans. Features with the width of the shelves depends on the nature of reliefs of the coastal lands. If it is a narrow shelves, then it is along the close and parallel mountains. If it is a wider shelves, then it is along the coastal lands and plains, because along the coastal lands and plains, continuously the sediments are being deposited by the rivers and lakes, wider in mouth of the river, that like that I have said in previously. The next is about the shelves in each ocean. In Atlantic Ocean constitutes about 13.3% of the uh, continental shelves, because so many rivers, or too many rivers are being draining its water into the Atlantic Ocean, and also because of the mid-Atlantic ridge present between the Africa and South America, the continental shelves are being wider and extensive. Pacific Ocean is only about 5.7% because of the subduction of the continental plates, continental plate, that is the Eurasian plate, with the Pacific plate. Subduction of the Pacific plate is being carried out. So the shelves is about 5.7%. Indian Ocean is nothing but 4.2%, and the shelves in the ocean basins. Ocean basins constitute about 100%. In that, 75.90% is about deep sea plains, but continental shelves is about 8.60%. On the slopes is about 8.50%, and deeps and trenches is about 7%. First, we will see. Then we are going to see about the Indian scenario. Indian coast is about average is about 100 fathom. The extension along the eastern coast is about 150 kilometer, that we could have studied. Then western coast is about 550 kilometers. So many ports are being present along the western coast. The eastern coast only Tuticorin, Chennai, Vishakhapatnam, Kolkata, and Paradip, etc. These are the some of the ports which are being present along the continental shelves. Continental shelves, if it is a wider, then it is going to be obstacle for the port construction, because the too many ships cannot come at a time, and then loaded ships cannot enter into continental shelves which have the less slope, etc. So along the western coast, it is about 50 kilometer. So easily they will be able to stop near the western coast. Slope along the eastern coast is about 21 degree. Western coast is about 1 to 10 degree slope. The origin of the continental shelves. First of all, the erosion. First one is origin of continental shelves. Erosional and the depositional activities. It is a result of marine erosion and the fluvial deposit. Marine erosion is caused by waves and currents. Fluvial deposits are made by rivers and lakes. These deposits, the deposits which are being brought down by the rivers and lakes, are consolidated under the sea water. So the extended forms of the continental platforms are said to be continental shelves. Then next origin of the continental shelves is the prolonged sedimentation. Prolonged sedimentation means the prolonged deposition of the detritus brought down by the river alone. Detritus, it is nothing but the sediments. The conditions to occur, the calm sea conditions. If the calm sea conditions prevails, then the prolonged sedimentation, which will be not hampered by the sea conditions. It will result into subsidence. Because of too much load, the land area will subside and leads to more sedimentation. Thus, the construction of the most extensive continental shelves are being formed. The next is rising thermal convective currents. Because of the rising thermal convective currents below the plates, along the continental ocean boundary, the plate tends to compress along the boundary and results into subsidence. Because this will lead to shelves are formed. Then, while plates tends to compress along the boundary, too much pressure is being created along the boundary. The weaker plate gets subsided and results shelves are formed. Faulting actions. The parallel faults are created in the continental margins due to the faulting actions, which causes the subsidence of the marginal land areas and subsequently the submergence under the sea water. Submerged land becomes shelves. These are said to be the tectonically formed continental shelves. Fall in sea level and the glacial control theory. Next one is fall in sea level. Fall in sea level means when the shelves are formed because it was formed during the ice ages and due to the subsidence of the ocean floors. During the ice ages, the ice were formed out of water, so the water which are present along the coastal areas tends to recede. The glacial control theory. Next one is glacial control theory. The Pleistocene age. During the Pleistocene age, sea level fell by 100 fathom. So the margins became free from seawater. The erosional features acted upon it, like rivers, wind, air, etc. Deglaciation. During the deglaciation period, the sea level rose again. Because of the melting of the ice, the sea level rose again and the shelves are formed. The next one is about abrasive work of water. Because of the strong sea waves which acted upon the sea cliffs, which acted upon the mountains, sea cliffs were formed and sea cliffs receded towards the land. Due to the basal erosion, there was a fall in the hanging crust. Extensive wave-cut platforms were formed and the platforms submerged under the sea water. It is said to be known as the continental shelves. The next one is tilting of land. This is a rare occurrence, tilting of land towards the sea. Continental margins submerges and the shelves are formed. Indian scenario. In India, the continental shelves are formed by four types: delta formation, coral reefs, sedimentation and submergence, faulting and submergence. This we have already seen in the previous slides. If you want to subscribe my channel, you can subscribe to know about the updates. If you like the videos, please comment on it. Thank you. See you next